afternoon, good evening, wherever everyone is. I thought I might I think I'll just open it up this morning and see where it goes. Otherwise I can get on a rant and talk for an hour. I'd rather hear you guys. Either questions or comments or, what's happening for you. All right, come on, let's go. What do we got?
Okay, Terry, just a comment, an observation about my dog, and it's relevant.
Okay.
Okay.
Did you just say about your dog?
Yeah.
Okay, yep, go.
My 3-year-old dog has gone blind.
Ah,
It's off. It's heartbreaking. But anyway,
yeah,
okay? But he's not suffering, Terry.
yeah.
He's not. It doesn't seem like he's looking into the future, how bad's it going to get, comparing with the past. And I'm just wondering, is it purely because he hasn't got a word, the language for it? Is it around, I know there's more going on with the brain, but is it because he hasn't got language?
Yeah.
Simple as that.
Yep. Without language, there's no me. Boom. Without language, there's no separation. Without language, there's I'm unique or I'm not unique, or I'm separate, or I'm isolated, or I'm in charge, or I have free will, or I'm the doer, blah, 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 blah. It's just language. Seems to be unique to human beings.
And no memory without language.
Yeah, but I don't know. I think, no, there's another, if you take a dog, there is recognition of you. They recognize, but it doesn't mean language is necessary for recognition.
Okay.
Yeah, it doesn't. Yeah. Like, we recognize the sun coming up. Do we need thought to actually recognize that? It's just the pure recognition of it. If we needed to rely on thought to know that the sun was coming up, we'd have to constantly, because the sun keeps apparently rising, right? You'd have to constantly be sitting there saying, the sun is rising, the sun is rising, the sun is rising, the sun. We don't do that. That's not what happens. Yeah. There's another beautiful intelligence at play. Often it's referred to as God. Yeah. I'm not about to refer to it as God, but I mean, look around. Look around. Just, you only need to look around. Like, how can anybody say that there's not an intelligence at work here? How could anybody say that with a straight face? No, there's no intelligence. But yeah, just on that point, Malcolm, a dog, they're just being, their love, but the dog doesn't know it's a dog. Like we're the ones that have labeled it the word dog. Dog doesn't know it's a dog. It's just this being creature. Happens to be. It's really interesting with dogs. Like they just have this capacity to be able to connect with us in love. And it's not just with dogs. Other animals can do it as well. if you spend time with them, they too connect. Yeah. But it's a different kind of connection. It's love connecting with love, or the being connecting with being, if you want to put it that way. Yeah. Whereas as human beings, what human beings do is thought connects with thought. What a nightmare scenario. Like, really, I'm in a relationship with what I think of you, and you're in a relationship with what you think of me. Relationship's doomed. Neither seeming person that is there, no one's responsible for the thoughts that are happening anyway. You know, on a dualistic level, we say, oh, I'm in a relationship with you. Oh, I really love you. Now I'm being sarcastic. Oh, I really love you. And then what originally brings two people together is love. Now, where the hell does that come from? You don't choose to fall in love. And we all know that, yeah? But we seem to overlook the magnificence of that. Where does that come from? How does that happen? How? So you got love that attracts love, and it just comes together. And at that point, you don't care what the person thinks. You're not even concerned about their background. You don't care about anything. All I know is that there's love. I just love this person. And that just happens. If we had any choice over that, and you guys have heard me say it before, you know, like if we had any choice over falling in love, man, I'd be walking down the street falling in love with at least a dozen people a day. Why? Because it feels great. And we can't do that. Like, we literally can't do that. When love hits you, where the hell does that come from? There's no choice in it. There's no choice in it. Just happens. And, you know, it's all wonderful for a little while, and and then the minds in the dualistic minds, very subtly and slowly at the beginning, start to go into battle with one another. Oh, it's cute that he leaves the lid off the toothpaste. Oh, it's so cute that he leaves the lid off the toothpaste. Oh, and he leaves his socks lying around, and oh, but I love him. You know, 12 months later, you want him to kill him because he keeps leaving the lid off the toothpaste. If I find one more sock on the ground, I'll choke him with it. Like, where's it all gone? The old mind thinks it knows better. It produces nothing but chaos, separation, blame. That's what it produces. Why? Because it works dualistically. That's all there is to it. It works dualistically. That's the only way it can work. So if we take ourselves to be a me that's in love with other, the relationship's doomed. Wow. I shouldn't say doomed, but, you know, in at least 50% of cases, people get divorced. What happened to the love? Where's that gone? Instead of relating to one another as one, we start relating to one another as two. And there's the duality right there. Yeah. All based on, coming back to your point, Malcolm, language. Language. Oh man, the whole show is a setup. It's a complete setup. If you're not the thinker, right, and you're not responsible for experiencing or feeling love when it hits you, what the hell's going on? Tell me it's not a setup. I dare you. Tell me it's not a setup. None of us are responsible for one single solitary thought that arises. And part of that setup is we believe we are. I am the thinker. Okay. All right. Stop it. Oh, you know, and it really is as simple as literally seeing it's a setup. Like we believe, yeah, that every action that we take, all the things that we do, all the things that we decide, you know, all of that, correct me if I'm wrong, okay, is based on a belief in our capacity to think. Is it not? Just a belief in our capacity to think. But no one here does any thinking. Thinking just happens. Which brings us to free will. Where's free will now? Yeah. Free will is all based on a belief that I think. Therefore, I can do or not do. Choose, not choose. Go, stay. Hide, play. All of it, you know, it's. And then remove all thought, blank. Now where's the decision maker? What's going to happen now? Oh, nothing. Cool. Most of us as human beings would love to experience that. Just shut down. But the problem is, as a person, we can't experience that. Because even if we could experience that, it shut down, but then it'd start up again, because the mind would say, oh, this is really cool, it's quiet, and straight away it's not quiet again. Boom. Reactivated. How do I get back to that silence? That was really cool. Oh. The whole thing's a setup. Like I'm speaking now, but there's no one speaking. There's just speaking happening. And that's a fact. That's an absolute fact. Just like there's thinking happening. Just like my heart's beating, breathing is happening, food's being digested. I mean, how far do you want to go? Like, all the cells in our body, there's 1 trillion of them or something. Man, I'm the body, I'm responsible for my body. Really? You're ordering all those cells around, telling them what to do, where to go, which if you were the body, if you really believed you were the body, you'd be in charge of it. You would be in charge of it. Body's just happening. Heart's just beating. Don't even have to think about it. Just happening. Need to go to the toilet. You don't have to think about that. Off to the toilet. When the body gets hungry, there's pain, hunger pains. You don't have to remind yourself to eat. That also just happens. Now, in relation to me, or mind, or the body, just tell me one thing, just one, that's not just happening. One. No takers? Boom, you're awake. That's it. Just one thing that's not just happening. And honestly, if you think you've spotted something, tell me. Love to hear about it. I haven't spotted anything. If there's something I've missed, tell me. Like my fingers then just scratched the nose. I didn't even think about it. That just happened. Oh, adjusting the glasses. Patty just scratching her neck then. I saw that, Patty. You know, so much stuff happens that we're just not conscious of. And to look, really, to come to see what it is I'm actually talking about, really, you need to become more conscious. And what we usually do, we don't understand that. Become more conscious. How does one become more conscious? But how that gets interpreted is, I need to really think about this. I've got, like, what am I missing there? I need a bit more knowledge around how to become more conscious. So it's just noticing it. You're already conscious. We don't notice it. Just like the little nuances, all the little things that the body does throughout the course of that, we don't notice it. Why? Walking around half asleep. One eye closed, focusing on the mind, and the other eye open, believing it's trying to navigate around the world. Oh, shit. It's a show. It's a setup. It's a show. These seeming me's that we're taking ourselves to be, even those are put there. The me's all based on thought. language, as you said in the beginning, Malcolm. Me is all nothing but thought. And we've surely at this point in time, we've come to see thought just happens. Therefore, the me just happens. It's put there. So perhaps another way of putting it is you're being thought into a seeming existence, whereas the personal person believes it's the thinker.
So, Terry.
Right, Mark, yeah.
So this noticing consciousness, does that just happen, or does it need to be instigated, chosen in some way?
Look, you might hear me say, yeah, instead of being conscious of, which we've done our whole life, yeah, and we've taken that is conscious of to be the me, right? So you might hear me say, and it's a pointer because it's not exactly correct, but you might hear me say, shift the attention from mind back here to consciousness. Now that sounds like I'm saying become conscious of being conscious or focus on your own consciousness, which is impossible. Can't actually do that. Yeah? Consciousness simply reveals itself. Now, it sounds like I'm talking about consciousness as being an object, some alien thing. It's you. Oh, that's going to... Let me add something to that. When I say you, I'm talking about the absolute you. Absolute. Non-dual. You cannot sit there and tell me that you're not. You can't. You wouldn't believe it yourself if you heard it, yourself saying it. Oh, I'm not. I don't exist. Who the hell just said that? I don't exist. Could have swore I just heard someone say I don't exist. Oh, yeah, it was me. Oh, shit. Thoughts happen. Hopefully we can see we're not the thinker. It begs the question, who the hell's thinking the thoughts? It begs the question, doesn't it? Where are they coming from? I can clearly see I'm not the thinker. Holy shit, what's going on? What the hell's going on? Yeah. At least try and get you guys to see, initially anyway, thoughts just arise. Where do they come from? People go, I don't know. Fair enough. Where do they go to? I don't know. Fair enough. But we never even look at both those sides. Where does the thought come from? Where does it go to? All we are is aware of them. There's just thoughts that are happening. We never stop to pause, to ponder, where the hell are they coming from and where do they go to? Because it's not the one static thought that just it's constantly moving, changing. 1 minute you feel okay, the next minute you don't. That'll all be based on whatever's arising, whatever thoughts are happening. Who's beating your heart? Who's breathing you? Who's walking the body down the street? Who puts you to sleep? Who wakes you up? Who's digesting your food? Who's making you pee? Who's making you eat? What is it, whilst we're sitting here, that's making us blink? Come on, the evidence is everywhere. We just don't notice it. We just don't notice it. Yeah? When there's a belief here that there's me here and I'm in charge of the body and I'm looking after and these are my thoughts and I'm responsible for what I think and do and act and react, and none of that's true. It's a belief. None of it's true. None of it's based in fact. All assumption, all belief. You just have to see this for yourself. Then you're in the best seat in the house. And you wander into here, and I just say, man, just have a look. Look, see what's actually really going on. It's like consciousness playing hide and seek with itself. Really. It hides and then seeks itself. Oh, shit. If it wasn't possible to arrive in a place where you can actually see what it is that I'm trying to get you to see, if that was not possible, this wouldn't be happening. There'd be no non-dual teachers around the place. None. There'd be just hundreds of thousands of other teachers teaching things that are relevant to the dream. Oh, shit.
Derek?
Yes, Geraldine.
Well, you're about to continue. Can I ask?
No, go for it. Go for it.
I was wondering that as I'm listening to you on that screen, and you appear in consciousness, in what I call my consciousness. But if there's only one, there's actually only that happening. But I presuppose everybody that's listening tonight, or tomorrow, or this morning, thinks the same. How is that possible if there's only one?
Okay. Here's the only thing you know for an absolute fact, Geraldine, is you are conscious. You don't know if anybody here that's sitting here is experiencing what you're experiencing. It's assumed they are.
But are you just an image in this consciousness that's observing and listening?
You're talking about this here?
You now, yeah.
You sitting there.
Like a movie, but there's no one watching.
There's certainly no person watching. They're still seeing.
I don't get the thing where everybody else is a character in my movie, but I'm a character in theirs.
Ah, okay. So all right. So let's take yourself and a relationship that you have with a friend, okay? Yep. Now, if I had the capacity to remove all your thoughts and all your memory around just that so-called friend that you've got. Yeah. And then I put that person in front of you, you wouldn't know who they were. So your relationship with that person is based in here. It's based in mind. Otherwise, if the relationship was direct, even without thought, there'd be the absolute recognition of that person. But the true recognition is the beingness and the beingness. Consciousness and the consciousness. Love and the love. So when we think we're in a relationship with somebody, yeah, and the answer's in exactly what I just said. We think we're in a relationship with somebody. What relationship is there if you remove the thought? Seriously. Seriously. Yeah. My relationship with somebody is all based on what I think of them. And we miss them completely. We miss them completely. Relationship is seeming. It happens in the mind. That's not even accurate, but it's certainly an illusion, that's for sure. And if you look, you only have to look at it, yeah? Let's pick somebody like, it might be a bit controversial, but bugger it, let's go there. Donald Trump. You willing to go out on a limb and tell me what you think of Donald Trump, Geraldine?
I don't care about him.
Anything else?
I don't know. Why?
Do you like him?
I don't know.
Now, I don't know. What's that telling you? I don't really think about the dude. I don't have any thoughts or ideas one way or the other about him. How about?
Well, he seems crazy.
He seems what?
Crazy.
Oh, there you go. There's one.
Okay.
There's one. He seems crazy. According to what? What you think about him.
But how
Which
would
is-
there be a him or anybody else if there's just one? This is just the whole story then.
Be a bit more accurate with that.
Is this? Sorry, I'm not getting it. It's a bit like the Muppet Show here. If
Yeah,
there's
it is.
just one,
Yeah, it is actually.
okay, because if there's just one, but there's something here presupposing everybody around has got their own little mind, but that's actually only in this consciousness. I don't know.
That's like, look, the only way, this unsureness, yeah, that you're experiencing, it's just you're unsure, okay? Now, try if you can not to get stuck on, just for a moment, yeah, not to get stuck on, yeah, but what's going on for everybody else?
Okay.
Good. So then you come back to yourself.
Mm-hmm.
What's going on here? What's actually going on here? Yeah? Because it sounds like you're stuck on this idea or this belief that you're an individual and others around you are individuals and they're all independent and free thinkers and so on. Is that kind of it?
Well, actually, So one of the first time I considered that, and what if there was just one actually, like at the beginning of the satsang?
Right.
So, and then all those thoughts came about.
Yeah. Yeah. And then they just need to be looked at. All those thoughts, yeah? Were you responsible for any of those thoughts? Or did they just all happen?
Yeah, it all happened.
Yeah.
It is all happening.
Yeah. So if it all just happens, you're not the thinker.
No.
Now, if you're not the thinker, understand that every single thing that we believe we do as a human being is based on what we think. But you're not the thinker.
Yeah, it appeared that thoughts appearing and you appearing were all appearing in the same consciousness.
Were they not?
Yeah.
Good. So what's the question?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I can't believe it, sort of. Yeah.
Yeah, well, all you've got to do is
Yes.
good. I know, but all you've got to do, Geraldine, is just stay with the truth. Might not be able to believe it, but what are the facts?
All right. Okay.
What are the facts? And you talked earlier about consciousness. And is there one consciousness? And I think you were alluding to that, there's 8 billion different portals of consciousness, that everyone has their own unique consciousness.
That's what I'm presupposing.
I know. I know. I know. Now, the only fact you know is you're conscious.
Mm-hmm.
For you to know that I was conscious, you'd have to have the ability to merge your consciousness over here and then be able to look out of here and see yourself.
Mm.
Then you could say, yep, I definitely know there's consciousness here and there. We don't have that capacity yet. It's an assumption. It's an absolute belief that everybody else around us that we meet is conscious. Whereas in your own direct evidence, all you know is you are. That's all you know. I am.
Which is probably why we're also self-centered.
Yeah.
Well, most of them.
Mm. Yeah. But even the self-centeredness, it's all seeming. It's not really. It's not real. But it seems that way. Yes. It does seem that way. Me-centered. Yeah. And then we, then we practice trying to become other-centered. Which is a nice thing to do in the dream. It's a nice thing to do in the dream. Until you see there is no me and there's no other. Over. Where's that leave you? Right here, wide awake. That's where it leaves you. Right here, wide awake. But the question is, what would be here, right here, and wide awake? What? And sometimes I say, you. And I know that screws with people's minds because in one breath I say, there's no me there. And in the next breath I'm saying, you. that is aware, conscious, being, no boundaries, not dualistic, without thought, purely being. The most familiar thing you could ever possibly experience. It's not some alien thing. Oh, who will I be if the me disappears? Who will I be? How will I function? That's what that says. It just keeps the me hanging in there, keeps the illusion hanging in there. Oh, I can't fully let go. If I fully let go, I won't know who I am. I won't know how to function. I won't know. And that's all bullshit. All of it. It's just another belief, none of which is true. A lot of people get stuck there. They're reluctant to fully let go. Let go. How do you come to see there are no others? When you come to see there is no me. And that the seeming me, this finite, little, scared, isolated, frightened me, which everyone experiences, bar none, instead of being that, what you awaken to is the absolute you. That's not divided, that's not separate, that's not isolated. It's pure love. Why? Because it's absolute. Yeah. It's just, you've got to come to see what you're not. And usually it starts with, where I usually start people, is, do you have free will? Everyone's going to go, yep, sure do. Okay. Now, if we understand that, everything that we think we're doing throughout the course of the day is all based on thoughts. If you removed it all completely, you just sit there, nothing would happen. You would just sit. Yeah. Now, if we can acknowledge that everything that we do throughout the course of the day is based on thoughts, yeah, turn it off. Because we absolutely believe we are the thinker. We absolutely believe that. Like we truly believe that. Okay. I'm the thinker. Okay. Just do a little experiment. It's not. Stop it. Stop thinking. Stop it. It'll shatter the whole illusion of being the thinker. Which what also comes up with that as the thinker is, I have free will. I'm the thinker. I'm choosing to do this, or I'm choosing to do that, or I can be concerned about that or not concerned about that. All thoughts. All of that would be thoughts, yeah, that you're not doing. You're not doing it. How do you test it? Stop it. Just stop it. Stop it. Stop it. What do you discover? Stop it. What do you discover? You can't stop it. It's just happening. There's just been a belief that I'm the cause of the thinking. I'm the thinker. Well, if that's the case, you should be able to simply stop it. You can't get any more logical than that. Yeah. So it's just, it's you just got to come to see what's actually happening. Have the courage and the honesty. The honesty. And the interest will bring up the honesty. The earnestness will just bring up the honesty. Yeah. Can I stop thoughts? Go on, go.
It made me think of sometimes when you talk to kids, they don't answer because they just look at you. They don't realize you want to talk to them. Like I don't know if you say something to them, they just look. They don't think they don't want to answer. They just don't feel it's for them. Just doesn't happen. Yeah, but I mean, that's probably because they're not attached to them as a person. They just look at this person saying something. Yeah. I don't know if I make myself understood, but yeah. Yeah, well, particularly when they're young, yes. Yeah, young kids. Yeah. And all that happens, like seriously, the older we get, the more conditioned we become to believe, you bet on me and you better listen to me. Absolutely, I'm me. I know better. If everyone would only follow my directions, this would be a much better world to live in. Such a me trying to assert itself, you know. I can remember going through that. They're still very young. They don't think, oh, I should answer something. Yeah. Yeah. Even though that, yeah. Not strongly conditioned yet. Yeah. That's all that is. That's all that is, yeah. That's why, you know, like, why can we only remember back so far? Why? Whatever your earliest memory is, right? Let's say your earliest memory, I don't know, is 3 years of age, whatever that is. Yeah, that earliest memory will stay with you for the rest of your life. You'll always be able to remember back to that earliest memory. Why can't we remember back prior to that? Why? It's amazing. Why? Why can't we? Why can't I remember being born? I was alive. Why can't I remember being 6 months old? Why? Why? What's memory made up of? Your memory, one's own memory. Language, is it not? I thought emotions would be registered in memories, but you know, there are emotions before 2 or 3. Well, if that was the case, if that was the case, we'd be able to remember the emotion, wouldn't we? Yeah. True. How come language can be so important? Because it's supposed to be a means of understand and describing. Yeah. It's so important. So it is, but that's what I was saying. Like, this whole thing is a setup. Beautifully so. It's not a bad thing. When I say it's a setup, I don't mean it's a creepy, strange thing. It's profoundly beautiful the way this whole thing is set up. Yeah. See, like there's seeing, hearing, tasting, touching, smelling. Okay. Those 5 senses all have a very unique, specific job. The seeing can't hear. The hearing can't see. The tasting can't touch.
The smelling can't see. It's like unique. Yeah. And we forget to bundle the sixth sense in, which is the thinking sense. Now, the thinking sense, all it does is think. The seeing sense, all it does is see. The hearing, tasting, touching, smelling, they're unique. Yeah. Now, just like the seeing can't hear, the thinking can't see, hear, taste, touch, or smell. Yet, check this out, right? Yet, it's the thinking that says, I see. Who sees? Who sees? The thinking? Can a thought see? Can a thought see? And then when I go, oh, well, you know, when it says I, it's not referring to the mind itself, it's referring to me. Okay, where are you? Where is this I that claims to be the thinker, the seer, hearer, taster, toucher, and smeller? Where is it? Where is it? And what is it? What is it? There's an assumption and a belief that there's a me here. And we never inquire into it. We never even look. We don't look. We're never asked to. We're never asked to. Just an assumption. Like we're never asked to see whether or not you're the thinker or not. We're never asked to do that. The collective, everybody on the planet, believes that they're a thinker. I'm responsible for what I think. Now, let's just check and see if you are responsible for what you think. You think. What you think, you think. Like, it's so easy to test it. Seriously. It's just stop it. Just stop it. You know, look, when the realization of that really hits you, it's like you step out of the mind. Because there's an awareness that arises. There's an awareness that arises. Holy shit. I'm not the thinking. I'm not the thinker. Thinking just happens. Holy shit. Now something is aware of that. Something comes to see that. That's not the mind or the thinking. Something else starts to brighten up. Something else starts to become conscious. You're conscious right now, Geraldine. Right now you're conscious. Beautifully conscious. Now, what can you tell me about that? I'm not interested. Footnote. I'm not interested in what you're conscious of. Tell me about consciousness, because it's there. Usually the mind goes quiet at that point. Everything just kind of goes quiet for a moment. That's a tip. See, ordinarily when I ask somebody, so tell me about your experience of being conscious, yeah? They will immediately do what consciousness has done for their whole life, which is, well, you know, I'm conscious that I'm here, and I'm conscious that you're there, and I'm conscious of feelings I'm conscious of my body, and I'm conscious of thoughts, and I'm conscious of the room temperature, and blah-de-blah. I'm not interested in what you're conscious of. Tell me about consciousness. Huh? Like that can be a strange question initially. What do you mean, tell you about consciousness? Well, you're conscious, right? Yeah. Okay. Tell me about the direct experience of being conscious. You have plenty to tell me about what you're conscious of, right? And we have no idea what consciousness is, and yet we are conscious. We have no idea what it is. None. None. Why? Because we've been living in this seeming duality, this believed in artificial, imagined world, whereby a dualistic experience seems to be happening, which would be, it would go something like this. It is me that's conscious of you. Now, there is no me and there's no you. Now what? What now? Consciousness. Recognizing consciousness. Love. Recognizing love. Because they're not two. What tells us that there's two here? Mind, dualistic. That's its nature. That's the way it works. And because it works dualistically, it creates a seeming person and a seeming world. Outside of mind, there is no personal person, and the world is absolutely not what the mind has been saying it is your whole life. Remember, the mind is not conscious and it can't experience the world. Can't experience it. So what is the mind using as a reference point in terms of what the world is if the mind is not conscious and aware? What's it using as a reference point? To claim it knows what the world is. I know what the world is, me will say. I know what it is. It's a tree over there and a tree over there, and clearly they're separate. Couldn't tell me otherwise. Oh, shit. It just vibrates in the pairs of opposites. That's what mind does. It just vibrates in the pairs of opposites. That's all. creates a seeming me and a seeming you and seeming relationship and seeming world. And then I throw in the amnesia pointer to you guys. Yeah. All thoughts gone. Don't know who I am. Don't know who you are. Don't know. No idea. Now where's your me gone? That we've identified with our whole life. You know, I'm me and I'm the sum total of all my experiences and my memories. And all we've got to do is just eliminate memories. The whole me's gone. Gone. Like literally gone. So what's this me? Like all the memory go, amnesia, boom. It's not, you don't die. You don't fall off the chair. And all that would have happened is memory stopped, boom, shut down. No recollection of anything, zero. Even when you looked in the mirror, didn't recognize the face. Imagine. Now who would you be?
You'd then become pretty weird, wouldn't you?
The point is, here's the point, yeah? If you can fully comprehend this point, it's just a pointer, yeah, that I'm using. If you can fully comprehend that, what I'm actually saying, you will see with perfect clarity what this me is. What is it? What is it? What is it? Any takers? What is it? I just eliminated it. Amnesia, right? Boom, gone. No clue. Don't even recognize your face when you look in the mirror. But you're not dead. Still conscious, aware, being. I'm not talking like, you know, you're going to go sitting there like you've had a lobotomy. No. Just a personal identity. Who would you be then? Would there be a me there? Would there be a Geraldine there? Or a Rohan there? Kelvin there? Your me disappears completely. Because our me's are all based on what we think of me. That's my me. That's what I think of myself. My past experience, all the things I've done, my memories, and that's my me. Now I've just turned it all off with amnesia. Now who are you? That's what you should come up with. You should come up with nothing. Or, I don't know. Now, add to this little experiment. Yeah. Now your memory returns. Your memory returns. Memory returns. Boom. Oh, me's back. What just came back? A me? Seriously, what just came back? Thoughts, language, memory. Please tell me you're more than just that. Having said that, that was as close as I got to trying to identify what this me was. When it just dawned on me, fully dawned, holy shit, I'm nothing but memory. Which begged the question, who am I now? Here. Here now, who am I? So what's the me? Thoughts. Next. Next. It's as clear as day. You've just got to see it for yourself. You've just got to see it. Let go of the belief. The belief we've had all our life. Don't settle. Don't settle for a belief. Don't do that. Anyone who wants to settle for a belief, yeah, you're in the wrong place here. You should be at church. Seriously. Yeah. Nothing but belief going on in there. Yeah. And I'm not knocking it either. There's something else going on here, different. There's a calling, it's a yearning, which none of us are responsible for. But there's a calling, it's a yearning. You couldn't turn that off if you wanted to. It's like you can't turn your thoughts off. Can't choose love. It all just happens. Yeah. Now, the upside of all this, yeah, the only thing that can come to see what you're not is what you are. And what you are is already there. Doesn't have to be found, doesn't have to be discovered. What's actually happening? See what's actually happening. Me is a memory. Memory is thoughts. Yeah. The idea of me operates throughout the whole course of the day, purely as an idea. Yeah. The me is not separate from the thoughts. Now, if you can actually start to come to see that thoughts just happen, so there's this idea of a me, just happens. It too is thought. Just thoughts. Now see that. Just see that. What I'm saying there is, I'm sitting here saying, it's a beautiful blue sky outside. Now come to see that. Don't sit there and take my belief, or don't sit there and go, oh, I don't believe that there's a blue sky out there. Get off your ass and go and have a look. And when you see it's a blue sky, then it's your direct experience. Holy shit, it is a blue sky. Holy shit, there isn't a person here. Look. Yeah. Don't get confused with, I'm not saying that, consciousness is not here. Awareness is not here. Aliveness and beingness, I'm not saying that's not there. This whole personal self is a belief system, all created in mind. That's what I'm trying to get you guys to have a look at. Yeah? And the mind can't see. So who the hell am I asking to have a look? Not the me and not the mind. That's seeing. There's a seeing, there's a knowing. It's not dualistic. I hope I haven't spun you out there, Geraldine. You okay? God, just want to go, look. Just look. Just look. What's going on, Ursula? Where are you? Share with us what was happening right then, honestly.
I was just saying, why can't I see that? Just look. And yeah, I don't know.
What can't you see, honey? Tell me what you can't see.
Well, I get the amnesia pointers so well. I know that me is thoughts and memories. And like I've had those experiences where I get a memory, a flashback, and it's just a random memory. And I'm there, why did I get that, the weirdest memory from I don't know when, and I'm there. And then I saw how quickly it solidified the me. I could see that relationship in those moments, but I don't get the whole picture. I just get these little.
I think, where's the relationship that you just referred to? What's that?
I see how the memories solidify the me. I can see that clearly.
Okay, what's the me?
It's just memories. And
So how can a memory solidify a me? Me is memory.
that's right.
Good. Look,
Mhm.
Ursula, it's tricky. Okay, there's nothing
Mhm.
wrong with you. You're not stupid. It's very tricky. You've I just got to keep pointing it out so you can
Mhm.
see it. Yeah, holy shit. And it's fast. It's so damn fast.
It is so fast. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Mhm.
So once more, tell me what you're not seeing. Tell me what you can't see.
Just the me is just so close. Just, oh, I just can't get that break from that, from the personal me. It's just so wrapped around.
How does that feel? How does that feel?
It feels, I don't know. Sometimes it feels like a choking, or it just feels like I'm trapped. It really feels like I'm trapped, because inside, like something here tells me this is not true. What you're experiencing is not true. You're not the
No,
me.
no, 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 no. That's not true what you just said. That's not true.
It's the mind talking, telling me, but it
I mean,
feels so real.
Ursula, look at me. Let go, relax, drop your shoulders.
Mhm.
There is an experiencing occurring.
Mhm.
Yep. Otherwise, you'd be dead.
Right. I get that.
Right now,
Mhm.
this experiencing that is being experienced, which you're naming a me. Yeah. There's an experiencing happening.
Mhm.
Okay. Now you're naming that me. Now, what's the me?
Just thoughts, just memories,
Good.
just
So what's this? What's this? What is this then?
if it's not the me,
How could it be the me?
it
How
can't,
could it
right.
possibly
It
be the
can't
me?
be the me, because if the me is the mind, it's memories and thoughts, but I'm here now, or
Yeah, and you're labeling that here now me.
that's right.
That's the mistake.
That's right. So
Right?
this
And the
me
me,
here,
and the me, yeah,
Mhm.
believes, big, huge story, right? The me believes it's separate, isolated, an individual,
Mhm.
la da 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 da. That's
Mhm.
why when you experience this me, you contract. You do this. You contract.
That's right. I do. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay.
So I know logically, I can see where you're going with that, and it so so what I'm feeling as the me is just
No,
consciousness, but
no,
I
no,
don't.
no, no. You're not feeling anything as a me. Full stop. Sorry, I feel like I'm being a bit brutal with you right now. I don't
No,
mean
that's okay. I need it, obviously.
just an
It's okay.
urge to pull you up right there.
Yes, I'll do anything to get there. Don't worry.
Yeah.
It's just, sometimes, yeah, it just.
Okay. Are you the body?
sometimes-
Are you the body? Are you the body?
No, I'm not the body.
Then how come at the same time you're saying it's Ursula here and I'm experiencing this? You don't know you're not the body for sure at all, because you're believing that you're experiencing Ursula in the body.
That's right.
Right.
That's right.
Right. Which means I believe I'm the body. There's two things that we need to look at here. I probably don't focus enough on the body, but you are not the body mind at all.
But I only get that conceptually. I understand that conceptually.
Good. Okay. So now you need to get it practically.
Right. That's the gap.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So you can go, yep, got it conceptually, makes sense.
Yep, it makes sense.
Good. Now I need to have a damn good look. Let's back up my theorem. Let's now back it up. Makes sense. Yep, got it. Now let's go take a look. So we can know for sure from direct experience. Yeah. Yeah. That's what scientists do. Somebody will put a proposition forward, yeah, and I'll have a whole heap of other scientists perform the exact same experiment to see if they get the same answer. Yeah.
Right.
All right. It's time to do the experiment. I'm telling you, I've done it, and what I've discovered. There's a heap of other people out there, and has been for thousands of years, run the same experiment and discovered the same thing. Now you understand it intellectually, you haven't ran the experiment yet. Do it. Do it.
Well, thank you for your efforts.
All right, you're okay. Yeah. You're okay. Yeah.